Hello, welcome Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today we start blocks 8 development, displacement and social movements. Unit 27 dam and displacement. One of the most widely discussed and debated issues in the last century has been the human and ecological cost of constructing large dams in the country. Large dams have singularly displaced millions of people from their habitats and submerged large tracts of forest. The question that has been regularly raised in the context of dam is whether the benefits of dam outdo the losses. Is the construction of dam worth millions of people losing their homes? Can we afford to lose large tracts of rich natural vegetation, which is not only a sanctuary for a variety of life forms but also the lifeline of the people dependent on them? Although the debate has concentrated around certain movements that have campaigned against the construction of large dams, such as the Narmada movement in India, it has caught the attention of not only the Indian people but also the international environmental circles. These movements have brought to light the politics of development, that is, the reasons as to why such development is undertaken despite resistance and its obvious ostracic consequences. They have served as sites for raising large critical issues of economic growth, social justice, and ecological restoration. This unit will try to address some of these key issues on dam and displacement, enumerating the various interrelated human, ecological, economic, political, as well as cultural dimensions of these issues. The first section of the unit will explore the present and present a short history of dams and reasoning that accompanied its popularity in the 19th and 20th century, both in India and the world. The second section specifically focuses on the Indian experience with dams and presents the debate in India in favor of and against dams. The third section elaborates upon the term displacement of both persons and values and thereby develops some of the larger substantive issues related to modern development and progress and ecological restoration. The last section presents examples of some of the alternatives to large dams as a form of water management. The conclusion recapitulates the key issues that have emerged in the course of the discussion on dams and displacement. Now let us move to the topic dams and displacement and development background. Water, as the saying goes, is life itself. Human civilization has grown on the banks of rivers. Dams are as old as human civilization and have been considered as one of the oldest techniques of storing and channeling water. Patrick presents a succinct history of dams. According to him, the earliest dam in the world was built in Java town, presently in Jordan, around 3000 BC. It was a system of 10 reservoirs made of rock and earth that collected the water from a fall, which was channeled through a canal. The largest dam was more than 4 meters high. Egypt's Dam of the Fagan across a seasonal stream near Cairo was known to be 14 meters high and 113 meters long, but was washed away after a decade of its construction. Spain is the home to a surviving Roman dam built in the last first millennium BC. A number of dams were built during this period all over the world. In the Middle East, China and Central America and around the Mediterranean, the king of Sri Lanka, Parakrama Babu, also known for his despotic rule, built a 14 kilometers long dam. No other dam in the region could equal to its volume. The king was supposed to have restored and built more than 4,000 dams. Macaulay quotes the famous anthropologist Edward Leach, who remarked about the large dams in Sri Lanka, stating that these dams are monuments and not utilitarian structures. The Sri Lankan village depended more on artificial ponds called tanks than on dams for irrigation. In fact, this is true for most of South Asia. Irrigation in India was largely dependent on traditional hydraulic infrastructure built and maintained locally, which includes well, ditches and tanks. Given the local caste-based social setup, it was difficult for the state to intervene in local customs. Nevertheless, the state did provide tax subsidies to promote water conservation. For example, in Gujarat, local officials had the authority to revise taxes and grant tax concessions. There were instances when tax on crops grown through the irrigation from a recently constructed well was reduced till the cost of constructing the well was recovered. Both the Mughals and the Marathas assessed tax on the basis of the ecological conditions of the region and climate fluctuations. Local traditional elites were obliged by custom to regularly invest in public resources such as water. They were expected to build tanks, repair well, etc. from time to time. China, unlike India, relied on an integrated hydraulic system for irrigation. Village level farming in North China depended on the local level drainage, which in turn was connected to the regional networks of dikes, levees and master canals. This system was closely interlinked to the massive central public works project. Flood control, canal management and local irrigation formed an integrated whole, and the collapse of one could lead to the collapse of the entire system. Local irrigation was therefore state-sponsored, with many of the wells and ditches built under the supervision of the state officials. Clearly, the role of the state, however minimal, was crucial in establishing and maintaining a hydraulic system. Water was an important resource and its management was not left to chance and a good monsoon alone. Colonialism, however, played havoc with the local system of water management. Colonialism brought with it a stringent system of revenue assessment, which was unsympathetic to local social and political dynamics and to the climate fluctuations. Likewise, the priorities of the colonial government were markedly different from the previous rulers. In India, expenditure on the public work took a back seat, with the British trying to consolidate its position after the bloody 1857 mutiny. The post-mutiny period was characterized by the greater investigation in military installation and the railways. Of the expenditure there was set aside for irrigation. 90% was spent on major irrigation projects based in Punjab. The British were keen on encouraging commercial crops such as cotton, opium, sugarcane and wheat. This interest in commercial agriculture was at the expense of the subsistence-based agriculture, and the small farmers managed irrigation system of wells, tanks, small channels and dams. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.